Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I'm the Ravenous Harkon. My name is Will. I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last, we left off with our Anarchs. We got to see them sit down with Yvette Morrison at her table in her own restaurant, where they got to see some interesting choices where she enticed them with some smells of food and different drinks. She also has religious iconography on her menu, which caught Erickson a little by surprise. But everything was done for a reason. But she revealed that Otis King had taken out Marcucci in West Salem, which was a benefit to her. And as such, that she has decided to come back from being out in the Anarch wilderness. Given the changes that have happened in Salem, the whole thing with Sasha Vikos, Grant Reynolds, and things of that nature, she did reveal that Gertrude Hansig was in Portland, but that she had had some bad blood with Otis King, and she let them know that Nikolai Barlow had gone to Los Angeles, and that she had lost track of Daniari Gray, and also that Saif Najjar was around, but she hadn't called on him in some time. Melvin noticed that she wasn't completely forthcoming with her information as relating to where her original counsel had kind of fucked off to. But while talking, she also revealed that she had a deep respect for Mickey Douglas. She took the opportunity. We took the opportunity to jump forward a few days to Friday, where we got to see Erickson reach out to Samantha and ask about the Bruja in the city, which really just is Erickson, Samantha, and Harvey Green, the sheriff, not counting Grant Reynolds and any chowder that he might have created in the interim. They met up on Friday at the Albatross with Dimitri Korchagin. Marcus asked them to make sure that neither him nor his raccoon messed up his office, which for the most part, Musor is pretty calm. He is not an agitated kind of raccoon, but he's also not a uncivilized trash panda. This creature has been familiar for some time, rivaling Betty D for power, I think, pound for pound. They were shown pictures of the person that broke into Otis's storage unit at Gunther's, which turned out to be a gentleman calling himself, or a kindred calling themselves the Plague Doctor. And once it noticed the camera in the corner, it deliberately turned on one of its powers of obfuscate, and the film was useless from that point on until he left. But they called John Coulson because Dimitri Korchagin is a typical gangrel. He is not the information gatherer or supplier in Otis King's coterie. And so they ended up calling John Coulson to find out what was stolen from the filing cabinet that the Plague Doctor took. And they learned that there was some redundant written files about what him and Andrew Givens and some other Tremere had been working on over their time after taking over West Salem. But he also revealed that the only people that knew that Otis had a storage unit were Andrew Givens, Geraldine Birmingham, and Mickey Douglas, who are all dead, but that Anastasia Richards and Gertrude Hansig both knew about the unit as well. And so they set up a meeting with Otis on Sunday, and they also learned that Otis might not allow them to kill Gertrude Hansig because he is loyal to those who are loyal to him. Direct quote from Dimitri. But they asked him to find out information about her for them. They double-checked the address they got from the Malkavian's ledger, but found that they did not sync up at all, since the address that they had was on the south end of the city. But they left the Albatross for the Tower Apartments, where they got to see Roscoe behind the counter. They got went upstairs to talk to Anastasia, and learned that Lydia Frost had kind of left the safety of the apartments to strike out on her own. They also learned that she revealed that Gustav Vladikov Orsten came to her calling on clan hospitality, and she told them that he would be a good start concerning any theft in the city, since he's one of the main anarchs that are left over. But they revealed to her that Otis King had been robbed, and she urged them to find Gertrude instead, since they have history together. No, excuse me. But after that, they discussed the boons that Erickson has, also revealing that Elizabeth Barrister is no longer with them. But Anastasia ended up telling them that if they were going to track down Gertrude, that it would require cashing in one of the boons, as far as her help is concerned. But that if they were going to be tracking her, that she still has some time left on the apartment that was given to Connie, and so they could stay at the tower apartments if they wanted to. That way they were much closer to her, and she would still be honoring the promise that she had made to Connie in the interim through the two of them, since Andreas Barker can't really partake of the digs at the tower apartments. But she did give Erickson her deepest condolences for the loss of Elizabeth Barrister. And after they discussed what they had learned, they decided to jump forward to the meeting with Otis King, which is where we're going to pick up everybody. It's good to see your faces.
Hola.
Hello.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sometimes.
it is Sunday. Have you guys still running around with the mobile haven?
I personally can shed it at this point, but I mean, we can still set it up for locations when we need it.
Yep.
Especially if we don't want to waste the whole first part of every evening driving the fuck where we're going. But I am going to take liberties of not sleeping in the thing. Fucking finally.
Okay. Yeah, using that third level protein.
Mm-hmm. For a growing Ravnos, it's the healthiest thing.
Right? So much easier to keep track of your own where you've been situation.
Mm-hmm. Do I feel like I'm gonna burn up here? No, I'm good.
Yep. But yeah, so you guys are gonna meet up at the Red Eye Lounge. Sure enough, you notice that there's a new bouncer. Big guy, not tan, but definitely not like pasty white. Human, bigger guy, definitely Nordic descent, but just kind of like looks you over, deems you not necessary to give him ID, kind of lingers a bit on Melvin. Not disgusted or anything, just kind of like taking in the visage. Then opens the door for the three of you.
Grotesques are still considered art.
Yeah. And as you're walking by, just
Polaroid, it'll last longer.
enjoy your night, gentlemen.
Nod.
Inside, John Coulson is standing at the office door already, and he just kind of like motions for you to come towards him. Once inside, he closes the door, he opens the safe, and lets you down into the main office. You will hear the last little bit of a jazz piano, kind of crescendoing to its final outro out of a jam, and you'll hear the sound of the needle being pulled up off the record, and then another one being placed. And as you come down, you see Otis at the far end just kind of putting the record down, and you'll hear the beginning of Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
But you see Manny kind of standing next to him, just kind of nods at him, and then nods at the three of you as you ascend.
Erickson gets his standard mean mugging out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Otis, you always you never cease to amaze me with the music.
I used to have a record store as part of your resources. Highly recommend it.
Might take you up on that. That's a good
that's
idea.
fine.
So, what do you have for me? And he sits down at his desk. He motions to the couches.
I look around and I take a seat down. And take off my hat. Just kind of get comfy. Well, I'm trying to recall exactly what I want to tell him,
Mm-hmm.
or what we want to tell him.
Sure.
He does. Remind me, he doesn't know that we're going after Gertrude, as far as we know.
He does not.
Okay.
Erickson looks over at Melvin, and he's like, "I'm giving you the face like I'm not putting my foot in my mouth this time." I'm just like,
No, I mean,
It's like, what don't we want this guy to know? Erickson, what were you about to tell him?
yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
Erickson,
exactly. That's
what
in
was it
fact,
that you
that's
were
the
gonna say?
conversation.
Yeah.
That's the conversation that we had right before we were coming. As we're coming in, I'm like, he looks at me and goes, "Erickson, what do you want to say?" "Oh yeah, we should tell him about Gertrude. The fact that we're looking. All right, cool. We're not going to talk about
None of that. That's a checklist
None
of
of
what we
that is
don't
gonna-
talk about.
Yep.
So we've got a little bit of a lead on the plague doctor.
Hmm.
Somebody by the name of it was Gustav, right? Well, Gustav
Gustav, yeah, Vladikov Orsten.
Gustav Vladikov Orsten. We were kind of given the heads up that might be a good starting point.
Hmm. He's a Ventru, so.
Oh, well, then we know he's corrupt. No offense.
Understandable.
Yeah, now with the obvious smirk to Otis.
I mean, I'm not one in the ways of politics, but is that going to be a big problem?
Orsten
Generally,
shouldn't be an issue.
I mean, we do have our charming personalities,
That you do.
and I give him my ugly smirk.
But you see you hear a thumping, like a loud thumping, and you will see Dimitri kind of come down the stairs as well. He'll see the three of you, and you'll see him kind of stop, frozen at the bottom of the steps, and then he slowly looks at Otis. I forgot what I was coming down here to tell you.
My face does that to people.
I'll come back when you're not busy. And he starts to turn around, and Otis goes, "Hold on a second. Let me ask you something, because Dimitri here came to me, and somebody has been prodding around about Gertrude Handsake. Dimitri, could you describe the people to these three so that they could find them for me, and we can discuss the topic of Gertrude Handsake one-on-one? And if Dimitri could sweat, he would be sweating right now."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, It is
And
not.
I'm staring daggers at Dimitri after Lotus says that he told him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, really, mother flipper.
Think about one bullet for that motherfucker.
Otis, it is like I said, these are not terrible people that that you should concern yourself with. I will tell them that Gertrude Hansig is off limits as far as information is concerned. And Otis stands up. No, I think given that Manny is so busy doing what I need him to do, it would behoove you to have Melvin and his coterie at your disposal to find these people and deliver a message for me. And he shakes his head. Not necessary. I have Musor. And you notice that by not looking at the raccoon has vanished.
It's been famous long enough to know when shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out.
Like, you could have sworn that Musor was standing on the bottom step next to him, but the moment that he brings him up, you look down and Musor's vanished.
2 out of 3 of us have obfuscate. We know that shit when we see it.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that after a while of being with these guys, I might have an inkling of what's. I'm like, oh, I know that. I know what he just did.
Our long-term goal is to give you PTSD of just never knowing when we're the fuck around.
Correct.
And the whole idea is anytime I turn around, I automatically think you guys are gone. You guys automatically go poof.
Nothing has stopped Erickson from taking aspects either. Like, it is one of those things where it's just like, you could take it at some point, but no. Fuck it.
No.
Surprise me.
I like Silence of Death. I like it for right now.
Sure. But yeah.
So when Otis says that, I cross my arms and I just look at Dimitri.
It is like I said, like if he had a collar or tie, like he would be pulling on it right now, like very Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah. No respect.
But he is looking everywhere except where the 3 of you are. He just goes, I have it up here, Otis, that you don't want people asking about Gertrude. I understand. And, she is off limits, and that if anybody has a problem to come to you directly. Yes, I remember our chat.
Dude, he backtracks any faster, he's going to moonwalk through that wall.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Homer Simpson into the bushes. And we're done.
Yep. And Otis just finishes stepping up to him. He puts his hand on his shoulder, and there's no visible wince from Dimitri. He knows he's not in any danger. But if he could swallow, it would be the loudest swallow you've ever heard.
You ever had your shoulder patted by a marble statue? This is kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
If his a-hole could pucker, the suction going on right now would be astounding.
There's blooderia coming out of the rear end.
No, nothing makes it through. This is a singularity of immense proportions.
Yeah. His pants have tightened automatically because his asshole's eating it from the back. So it's just.
I got like. I'm getting look. Andreas is getting a lot of Schadenfreude out of this because I'm just enjoying watching him squirm. But wait, what did we suspect him of again? That we know why he's nervous.
You're the ones that asked him to look for information on Gertrude Hansig.
Right. Never mind. Okay. I'm doubly enjoying the sweat now.
Erickson stands up and I'll say, look, what is the message that you want us to tell these people so that we can make sure to help out Dimitri?
I appreciate that about you, gentlemen. There are 2 things. Gertrude Hansig is off limits, and if anybody wants information about her, they can come to me directly.
Copy.
Is it a safe space to come to you for information, or should we relay that in the message that it with a little more volatility?
As much volatility as you can muster.
Noted.
Write that down.
Yep. All the information, hold the bullshit.
Yep. And then he just kind of gives him a quick little double pat on the shoulder and goes, "You can go. I'm sure Coulson needs you for something." And Dimitri just kind of nods and scampers up the steps.
As he scampers off, Will, can I just have just the sound of ghostly footsteps following him?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, that's.
It can only get a certain range from me, but it can follow him for a few feet. Be like, did one of them?
If he sees us, like if he happens to glance at us as he's going up, I just like out of
I need
not even
I need
okay.
consistent practice at this kind of shit anyway.
He understands when Otis is mad, and so he does his best to not even turn towards you when he's turning around. He turns away from you so that he doesn't chance even locking eyes with any of the three of you.
Oh, that I'm definitely sending little ghostly footsteps following
like
him.
He just wants to not be there anymore.
I'll bet. I don't want him to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once he's gone, Otis will go back to his desk.
Okay. I just kind of look at him and I just say, so mighty protective of this Gertrude person. I mean, at least Dimitri said these were some nice guys.
I don't know. You don't know him like we do. He's simple.
We have one of those. No, I'm just kidding. And I don't say which one. Let the games. No, I'm just.
Yep. Just like Nathan Fillion, I have one of those too. This guy.
Yeah, I have one of those too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Guardians.
Yep. Yep. Good lines came out of that movie.
I kind of look at Andreas. I'm just like, you keep doing good work. I like what you're doing.
I like what you're doing.
You shut the fuck up.
Stop.
You shut the fuck up.
Yeah. But Otis kind of sits back down at his desk, smiles at the comment about Dimitri, and he goes, "I had an interesting weekend. Green showed up, waving the white flag. You know anything about that?"
Green. Our buddy Green.
No. Did he make it out?
He's still alive?
Yeah. We don't harbor ill will towards Hyde's sheriff.
Oh, I don't either.
Oh.
I
would hope not. He had good things to say about you.
I respect Green more than he probably thinks, despite my choices and how I ended up here.
But Manny smiles. He's like, "It's okay, man. He had nothing but good things to say about you." You know?
Really?
I mean, him, and he points to Melvin, not you two, and he points to Andreas and Erickson.
That's to be expected.
He has suspicions, not information.
Yeah.
But Otis kind of looks over. Yeah, apparently Hyde sent him to ask me to call off the praxis. So you can imagine how that went.
You must be doing something right, Otis.
But he did drop a little nugget of information, a couple of nuggets of information that I don't know if you're familiar with. Apparently, there's a bishop in town. Just so you're aware. One of Vicos's parting gifts to us. We don't know. He doesn't know who it is, and I don't know who it is. But there is a bishop.
Do they know if it's one of Vicos's children or
unknown? Okay. Nobody knows who the bishop is. The only information that I've managed to scrounge up is that Reynolds has been reinstated into Templar.
Okay, so the bishop has a bodyguard, and a warrior at the very least.
Correct.
Ew.
Whatever? Did anything ever come from getting you two crazy cats together?
We never got together. And now it doesn't look like we're going to survive the encounter.
Well,
From my experiences, he does have some sense of decorum in certain situations.
Sure he does. He's shown up to a few of the Elysiums when I used to go.
He was more tolerable than the prince.
Hyde, yes.
Right. That's what I'm referring to.
But yes, he dropped that on me. He dropped a few favors, including delivering a message to Tulip, which we can't find. So if you have any information from Manny, let him know before you leave. But what do you know, especially you, Melvin, since you probably had to deal with him, but what do you know about Paolo Antonio Marcucci?
This character, I don't remember dealing with him at all.
That fucking guy.
I really don't. That name, that name doesn't even sound familiar in my head.
Anything that you would have dealt with would have been before your time with Connie and Albert.
Okay. Oh, that's why I don't know it. Okay.
Yeah.
Where I started Melvin's story.
Yep.
I mean, you want me to do like a roll or something to like recollect or
No. From what you remember, Marcucci was a Nosferatu, kind of real carbon copy of Capone. So he had like a little empire. He was building the first real nightclub in West Salem at the end of 1983, but that exploded, and apparently he went with it.
Ooh.
Otis and his coterie were attributed with the death of Marcucci.
And I know that. That's what I know.
That's what you know.
Okay. I when he asked me that, then I kind of go I chuckle and I go, I mean, I know you blew him to shit in that nightclub, and I say the name of the nightclub, whatever the nightclub was.
Funny thing about it is that we thought we blew him to shit too, and then Sheriff Green starts asking about him.
Two things. I'm glad I finally got. Now I just need to find out where Jimmy Hoffa is buried, and then I'll have the two things I've been wondering for all these years. And two, because now you just admitted to it, so that's good to know. But two, and I smirk with that. Like the detective in me is always curious. And two, what the fuck was he asking about him?
Apparently, Marcucci's back, and he's taking over the northern part of the city, the Kaiser section. So we went out, tried to figure out what was going on. We stopped by the Malkavian Primogen's estate, which would work on that. I assume that was you. Had a little altercation with some of your friends, and he looks dead at Andreas. How familiar? I mean, I know the answer, but I want to hear from you. How familiar are you boys with the Devil's Disciples?
Looking over at Andreas.
Yeah, resisting the urge to spit on the ground before I start talking. I give the lowdown to Otis about just the histories between our group since post World War II, about 1947 or so, and what kicked it off and why we don't like one another.
Okay,
but this has all sorts of shit.
Yeah. He said not to good.
We our stout friend over there, and I look at Andreas. Encountered them before we got to the club, but interesting bit of information is it looks like the reason they're here is because of Mr. Werner Hertzfeld.
Oh. The same Hertzfeld that Prince Hyde has put a blood hunt on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
same
one.
guy. That one.
Interesting.
Write that down.
You see him write something on a notepad, and he hands it to Manny. And Manny comes over very nonchalantly. You see a little black tentacle come up out of his shadow and just kind of dive into a pocket and then pull out a little piece of meat that he starts to chew on. And as he gives it to you, he's just like, I didn't want to get my hands dirty before you. And he hands Andreas a piece of paper. It just says Sunnyview and I-5.
Biting back the, well, what does that say about the inside of your pocket? They call me the dirty biker.
Yeah.
Oh, show the address to my boys.
Okay. Just a Sunnyview and I-5.
Mm-hmm.
Sunnyview I-5.
But Manny swallows the piece of meat that he's eating. So apparently we talked to a really nice guy named Brian. Dimitri thinks it's a Brian with a Y because, he was a little bit obnoxious. Guy was not a good guy, but we had a little talk. He was following us. We caught him with his hand in the cookie jar. You know how you do it. And apparently that's where some of the devil's disciples are staying. There's a hotel off of Sunnyview and 5.
I look at Andreas and I just smile.
Yeah. I'm going to have a phone call to make when we leave.
Apparently, this is one of the locations that they have a visitor occasionally come to give them missions. They call him Moneybags.
Do they know how often does he show up?
That Brian didn't really tell us because, he's an asshole.
We're going to call him Body Bag when we're
But
done
we
with
did tell him that the next time that this Moneybags comes to the hotel, that he needs to call us. Otherwise, his life is forfeit.
All right, I'm going to need the souls on like 24/7 ready for this. Sleeping in shifts, boys.
Yep. But we haven't heard from him. We met him. We dealt with him on Saturday. We dealt with him yesterday. Been a busy weekend. Let me tell you what.
So as of yesterday, Moneybags hasn't shown up. Okay.
Hasn't shown up. No. And then Otis looks over as the next song starts playing. Melvin, you know of Lydia Frost, yes?
Yes.
Do you know how to get in contact with her?
I haven't spoken to her in quite some time. I visited our old haven that we stayed at and was told she had left quite some time ago to go out on her own.
Her sire, Isaiah, came asking for a favor, trying to find her.
You know how to contact Isaiah?
He left me a phone number, but for a wayward house, it's not someplace that I trust leaving a message.
Fair enough. I definitely keep an eye out on for her because I would like to see how she's doing.
Yeah. Apparently, they're both being hunted.
By who? And my demeanor completely changes.
I don't have a name for you, but I do have a clan, and if they're involved, it worries me. So I just figured I'd ask if you knew anything about her.
And the winner is?
Clan? Yeah, what clan should I keep an eye out for?
The Banu Hakim.
Do I have any idea who the hell that is?
So the Banu Hakim are the remnants of what used to be known as the Assamites.
Okay. What would I know this? Would Melvin know this?
Yes, he would.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're-
A group of them
they're-
actually joined the Camarilla.
Okay.
The majority of them are still independent, but there is a splinter group that has joined the Camarilla.
Mhm.
Okay. I wonder why.
Well, it just keeps getting better and better. There's the whole clan of hitmen. Or at least as far as I know.
From what I understood, the Frosts were scholars, both of them. Even if Albert was enthusiastic about mythology,
That's a good word.
his daughter has had a good track record going for her as far as archaeology is concerned.
She's a sweet kid. I really did like her.
I don't know her, but I did want to extend the warning that I got. So
Much appreciated.
I do appreciate that. I'll keep an eye out. If you don't mind me asking, Otis, before we get on our way,
sure.
just to backtrack, what were you offered to remove the Praxis?
Something that I don't think would have come to fruition, or something that would have been much more dangerous for my well-being. But Hyde offered me the Ventru Primogen seat.
Powerful position for sure, but seems like, and not to take anything away from you, but seems like the acts of a desperate man.
The act told me several things about the state of affairs in his court, because it is not something that I think he would have given freely, but it is something that has shown me that him and Anastasia are not on the same page. But it also tells me that someone higher up wants him to make peace for whatever reason. A big name that's being thrown around is Jackson.
Does that elicit any kind of thought process with any of us?
Anything like would we have heard about this, considering that that's outside of?
Some people have told you that the Prince of Chicago is named Jackson.
So I probably would have known that.
Mhm.
Okay. Like, seems like there's a lot of ghosts of Chicago that are making their way over here.
It's the jewel of the Camarilla. From what I
wonder if
hear,
it
it's
has
the
anything
only
to do-
stable city they have going on.
That says a lot if this is the stable city.
From what I've heard, a lot of the West Coast is flipping back and forth.
By the way I heard, it's that whole area has been hotly contested territory since, I don't know, the gold rush.
Seattle's fucked. Vicos is starting to spread out from there. I just heard that the ramifications of what happened in Portland have forced Johnson to get on the defensive. So he's lost ground there. Hyde is pretty much a Ravnos now, from what I've heard. He doesn't stay in the same place twice.
bristle at that a little bit.
And all of California is Anarch at this point. The moment we lost LA, we lost that fight.
Keeping that mental note,
Yeah.
New York's contested, Miami's contested, DC's contested.
Miami's a drug-infused cesspit. I'm surprised the ministry hasn't taken that place by storm.
I mean, it's the best place for snakes to thrive.
No, I agree.
Manny, are you from Miami? I keep forgetting. Were you born? Did you stay?
A little bit further south, man. I'm from Cuba.
Ah, okay. Miami too. It's like, no, Miami. At that time, Cuba, Miami. It's
1984. So that's coming out of the Cocaine Cowboys,
Yeah.
but just barely.
Yeah.
But barely.
Yeah.
We'll keep I'll keep an eye out for Lydia. Let me ask you, if we do find her, can I send her your way?
If she means that much to you, yeah. Sure.
He does.
He looks at you. How'd your conversation with Yvette go? You have an idea who I should put in my Toreador Primogen seat?
She seemed, I get the vibe, and I guess we can each speak on it, but I kind of got the vibe of a snake in a pretty dress and makeup.
That's most
She
Toreador.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, touche.
I was about to say. I was like, yeah.
Who's the? Will remind me. Sorry, who was the other one that he was considering?
Ivory Larson.
Ivory Larson. Okay, yes, that's right. It's Ivory Larson.
I can tell you my answer right now.
I know what you're
not
gonna say.
Ivory Larson.
I will tell you that my one meeting with Miss Larson did leave a positive impact on me. I do believe that she's sincere in what she's wanting to do, and I think that she's probably the ideal person between the two of them. I think, especially when she found out the truth about her sire, um, it definitely changed her perspective on things, and I think she might be more on your side than you even think.
He looks at you for a second. Did something happen to her sire?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Did something happen to her sire?
Yeah. Full disclosure. The prince was her sire.
The Geraldine was her grandsire.
Her grandsire.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was her sire.
It
My
was
bad.
her sire's sire.
Sorry. So I say, I'm sorry. When a grandsire is what
No.
I say. My apologies. I thought it was.
Yeah.
That was some new information.
Yeah,
I was just
I was like,
hey.
Does she know?
Sorry, I had aggro.
That's fine.
So couldn't I-
Yeah, he looks at you, he's like, oh, I knew about her connection.
Okay.
I was just
She
worried.
didn't. She didn't know what happened.
Mm.
She didn't know how it went down. She was given information that made it seem like somebody else was responsible for it.
Good.
But I looked her in the eyes and I told her the truth. I was there. I saw it happen.
That was a rough night.
Still haunts me.
So there's no shortage of things to do, Melvin. You boys regretting what side you're on?
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Long pause. No.
I consider my responses.
Be careful if you're gonna go investigate the disciples off of the 5 there. That's awfully close to Kaiser, and that's where, I hate to say this out loud, but that's where the Sabbat presence is currently.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
make a mental note to go there if we need to.
Yeah. When was the last you heard of that activity there? At least in Kaiser.
Yesterday, when Harvey Green showed up.
Good to know.
Also, I don't know if you have any interactions with them, but you'll notice that Charlie's no longer at the front door. The Lupines have dissolved their treaty with us.
Oh.
So
When it rains, it pours.
Be aware that if you encounter any of them, they will not play nice.
Shudder at the thought of the memory of that stuff. They never do.
It's okay. Werewolf 5, the 5th edition came out, and they're garbage, so you can handle them.
I'll be
Yeah,
fine.
seriously.
We'll be fine.
The
just wait
cult,
for a few
the
rounds.
cult of Fenris.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me started, bro.
Oh, yeah.
In my head, I just kind of say when they say that, I just kind of say they're not all that bad. In my head,
Yeah. Their mechanics are garbage now, so
Yeah.
you should be fine.
Their mechanics are garbage.
well, they were there, but I stand up and I shake Otis's hand.
Yeah, he stands up, steps around the desk to make sure that he interacts with each of you as you're leaving.
Yep. Always a pleasure, Otis, man.
Always.
Thank you so much for your time. It's always nice, and I shake his hand again, and I squeeze it just a little bit. I go like last time.
You notice that the moment you try to squeeze, that it does feel like marble. There's no more give in his hand.
That's good. That's good to know.
Well, you climb upstairs.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Manny's there, so
Yeah. Of course he's there.
I walk up to Manny. Yep, yeah. And I walk up to Manny to go, hey, so any news on the information about my sire and what happened to her?
Oh, yeah, man. Thanks for bringing it up. And you see him just kind of like tapping his pockets. You can hear the moment he taps his left breast, the squelching noise of his little Ziploc bag with his cut up organs that he normally has there. Yeah, man. Apparently, those 3 knuckleheads that you're going after, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, they were seen up in Kaiser. And he pulls out a picture that somebody took from like a television recording, and it looks like a picture, like a Polaroid picture of a setup where there's a TV that has the little 4 grid, the X grid of CCTV. It looks like a liquor store kind of camera angle. There is no VCR recording the actual images, but you can see that the TV is like maybe like this 20-inch monstrosity of this iode fucking big box. And there's liquor bottles on top of it, set up by like what liquor they are. There's a couple of liquor bottles to the side of it. There's the top half of a clipboard with like deliveries that are checked off and things like that. This looks like a liquor store. Excuse me.
And
he hands it to you. But you can see the three of them, clear as day, hanging out.
really,
And
even in the 80s, you're looking at the Polaroid, you're like, wow, I
It's-
can make out their faces.
you've
Clear
been
as day by photography
80s
standards
clear
that
as
we're
day.
aware
Yeah.
of. Because
like
in the
80s
80s,
clear
you're
as
not
day.
aware of HD.
I'm assuming that you guys have been staring at their pictures for the better part of like
Yeah.
a week.
I have,
so
you know, I
so you each pick out whoever you're after. Like you can denote them.
the Bruja, just that Bruja, that one.
That
I was like,
motherfucker.
who do I have dibs on?
have the one that bit her.
Okay.
In the background, though, half visible, because it looks like he's either stepping towards them or stepping towards another aisle, is Grant Reynolds.
I mean, of fucking course. This is in Kaiser. This is, you
Like
know,
Slender
obviously.
Man.
Yeah.
He's fucking Slender
You get
Man.
enough pages, he shows up.
Yep.
By any chance, I put my right hand back towards the where the revolver is. I just want to check if it's
there.
fucking ice cold at the moment.
It is not.
Okay.
It is not.
Okay.
Anytime that you enter the red eye, he is very distant.
Okay.
And you're not sure what's happening, but the red eye is a safe place for you as far as like ghosts are concerned. But yeah, there's like a bloody thumbprint on the corner, dry blood. It's not fresh. But he hands you the Polaroid. He's like, "You can keep that, man. That's for you."
Yoink. I'm gonna need to give it to the souls so they know who to look for if they're gonna keep an eye on the plate. If they're gonna keep an eye on the Devil's Disciples place for us.
By chance, do you know what liquor store this is?
That I don't know, man. The guy that gave me the photo wasn't long for this world. You know what I'm saying?
Well, considering how much some of my boys drink, maybe they'll know.
I look at.
I don't want to perpetuate stereotypes, but that's what I was thinking.
I look at Erickson. I just say it seems our destinies are intertwined yet again.
Manny, you have been. I'm holding. In my head, I'm like, just like, you know, Manny, you have been a great help in this, Manny. I really do appreciate everything you have done so far.
This is the least I can do, man. This is my job now. I'm the sheriff under Otis. And he finger guns you.
Thank God you put gun at the end.
He fingered you.
He
Thanks.
fingers you. That's not what the sheriff does, Manny.
That's not what the sheriff does.
Ow.
I'm checking your prostate, man.
Sheriff ever.
Yeah.
The worst. It's the worst sheriff
It's
ever.
enlarged, man.
Hey, man, you gotta take care of this. You're stressed.
Yeah.
That's how prostates work, right?
It's science.
Yeah.
It's science.
He is stored in the balls.
Yeah. It's rough acupuncture when you gotta fucking stick a needle up there.
Oh, well, Manny, if you ever need a bull to go into a china shop, just let me know.
Oh yeah. No, I have different china chops already ready for on the list. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And I turn around before I can, as a former politician, I can only hold my face for so long before I just so I'm just turning.
Yeah. I count in my head like how long you're dealing with Manny, so that I know the moment you've gone a little bit too far, I can just be like, all right, why don't you roll this for me to see if you can.
Yeah.
If you can stay there.
I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I count sentences. I'm just like, okay, he's okay now.
I hang back as soon as they start walking.
Okay.
And I go to Manny. And I get very close to him.
Okay.
And I said, so there's a blood hunt on Werner.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. We need him for our clan business. If you remember,
This is the difficult situation, my friend. Otis hasn't called the Bloodhound on him because he knows we need him.
I'll do everything I can to stop Andreas, but Andreas had a bad interaction with him and the disciples.
Yeah, no, we had a bad interaction with them too, but you know, we made a new friend out of Brian.
I'll see. I'll keep my ear to the ground, and if we head up to Kaiser, if I see him and I can bring him in, I'll make sure we do that.
Yeah, just be careful, man.
I suddenly lean in. What are we talking about?
As he obfuscates, no. And I kind of like bump, like punch Manny's shoulder, like all right, man, and I turn around and walk away.
Yep. But upstairs, John Coulson is sitting at the desk. Turns towards you. Hope everything was productive, gentlemen.
Not productive. It's destructive, and I don't see any. I don't see any rubble.
I wasn't going to perpetuate stereotypes, but this is what I've heard of your group.
Everyone's perpetuating stereotypes tonight. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to smoke 3 cigarettes, drink a couple beers, and go fuck somebody.
That's what Ravnos do.
I tell Colson, I say, thank you again, and I shake his hand, show respect, and I say, I'm glad to hear Sheriff Green made it out okay.
It's like Otis said to you, hopefully, that we have no ill will towards Green. We were there when he was christened sheriff. We understand where his allegiance lies. We just don't understand, because we did offer him, Otis extended his protection, but Green did not accept. So the question is, what does Hyde have over him? But
I'd also like to think that Sheriff Green would know that he has a little more of a benefit being in the inner circle, so to speak, if there's any information we need to know.
Well, he did reveal to us that Hyde offered him a primogen seat for the Bruja clan. But he turned it down as well.
Did he?
I'm not there.
No, you're there.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you're there.
We're all there.
All of your upstairs and
It's
Colson's
Colson,
office.
not Garza.
Yeah, this is Colson's office.
Okay.
Yep.
Really?
I look at you.
Yeah, he turned it down.
Wonder why.
What he said is that he knows what his place is, given the events following Mr. Bell and his altercation with the Ventru Elder. So he's perfectly content keeping the traditions.
I also think he realizes there's a lot of targets on the Primogen's heads.
He is not unintelligent, but he also did mention that he wouldn't be sheriff under Otis, which is true. But he might have gotten accustomed to the power that comes with being sheriff. But that's merely spitballing, as you say.
Or not. Anything else, gentlemen?
That's the nearest payphone.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good question.
Well, he actually grabs the phone that he has on his desk and just turns it around if you need it.
Nope. In my head, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, no, I'm taking it elsewhere.
I'll go outside.
Sure.
The less weaves connecting each other, the better.
Understood.
I appreciate the offer, and I wish you a good night. And just extend my hand out.
Yeah, he shakes it. Stands up, shakes everybody's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, It's a calmer kind of family night on a Sunday evening here. The club isn't open as late as it normally is on the weekends, so it's going to be closing up in like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It closes at 1. But yeah, you see not your typical kind of rough and rowdy crowd, but there is some cowboys. But you do notice that a lot of the clientele that used to frequent here on a Sunday completely gone. So you can imagine they must have had ties to the Lupines.
That does explain a lot.
Do I see Dimitri anywhere?
No,
Okay.
because you don't have Auspex.
Oh,
You're just kidding, Kenny.
neither do I.
Nobody has Auspex.
Nope.
But yeah, you know that he has to be somewhere in the rafters. And these aren't like, full on stage rafters where you've been up there. You know that you have to like crawl on the grid up there. So he's up there somewhere.
Okay.
But both him and Musor are both invisible.
I just do this as I walk out. He knows what he did.
He knows.
He knows what he did.
You know what he did too.
That fuck.
That fucking guy.
That fucking fuck.
That fucking guy.
Hey, you fucking fuck. Come here.
Hey.
Fuck you.
Hey, put yourself in the bathroom. You know what you did.
The Chicago's gonna come out of me. Hey, come here.
Hey. You know what you did.
You know what you did. Broke my heart, Fredo.
Hey.
You broke my heart, Fredo.
Right? But yeah, you go over. I imagine that Andreas has his bike. You two came in Erickson's car.
Yep.
You park next to each other. What's the discussion?
I wasn't kidding about the payphone thing, so I have to at least get in contact with the souls, and maybe have somebody come by and pick up this photo depending on where we're headed. Depending on where we're headed next, I can either drop it off somewhere or whatever. But I want the Devil's Disciples watched. I want just easy surveillance from behind, and also to have them warned to anything looking vaguely like me, to the ones who were in the know about Canaanites. Avoid anyone like that in the area, because obviously we're trying to stay away from that Sabbat presence. So
Okay.
I believe the Kaiser.
The Kaiser. Yeah, you know that the Red Eye has a payphone on the corner. Although the Red Eye is not the corner lot, it was constructed a couple of lots into the street, and slowly Otis has been expanding the parking lot. But yeah, there's one corner store that's kind of like still been there for the longest time. But the payphone's easy enough to get to. You call, you let them know, pass on the information. And
I let them know I have a photo for some of the people they need to keep an eye out
for. The guy that answers is his name is Crunch, or his club name is Crunch.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, I think Shepard's in the area. If you want, he should be there maybe half an hour.
You know where he was supposed to be at?
He was driving around West Salem.
All right, yeah. If you hear from him, tell him to look for me.
All right, you got it.
Yeah. How close are we to West Salem?
Maybe 20 minutes. Salem town is outside of West Salem in the north end, but not too far out.
Okay.
By the way, guys, now that we're outside, memory serves me correct, we're going to be staying at this hotel, correct?
An apartment complex.
The apartment complex.
The apartment complex. Forgive me. The apartment complex. We have our own room type of thing.
It's been a couple of nights, so it's up to you whether or not.
Yeah.
If you're still thinking about it, you can also not have pulled the trigger yet.
I want to have it. I want to actually have like a point of contact. Because I want to get to the payphone when Andreas is done and talk to Mickey, and I want to find out, what his reach is in Kaiser. I want to know about if he has any information on the Devil's Disciples, or even if he can relay to me their movements, maybe give me an information as far as where they're at, because this is all too much of a coincidence that Devil's Disciples are in Kaiser, so are these three assholes. So
you call him up and he doesn't have anything, but he puts it on the docket.
I give him the number to our apartment.
Okay.
So that he can call that number when he has that information.
Did Melvin move back into his old room?
I'd say yeah.
Okay. Did you
Actually, maybe I'd go to Lydia's room.
Okay. Would you have stopped Erickson from taking Connie's or your room then, since you're going to be taking Lydia's?
Huh. I forgot that they have rooms.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd switch it. I'd be in Connie's room.
Okay.
And I'd tell them that they
Lydia,
can take my room.
Lydia took Mustang's room.
Yeah. So he can take
that
Lydia's room.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll point it out to him.
Yeah,
when we were there.
Since I won't be sleeping there, I could care less which room because it'll be just basically a place to drop my stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I while we're out there, I say, so when are we going to the bar? We know where they're at. And this is like a Melvin that's like, usually I'm calculated and very.
No,
and I'm
you
just
sound like
like,
me. That's what I'm just like. This is very me of you. There is no compass. I think we're starting to lose the compass, and I think now it's just, yeah.
We know that the disciples are there. We know that these three pieces of shit are in that area.
Correct.
Talking about the hotel?
No, the bar where the disciples are, the Sunnyview or
Yeah, it's a hotel.
the apartments.
That's
or
a
the
hotel.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's like a hotel motel thing.
Sorry, I got
Yeah.
confused because of the liquor store.
That's fine.
The hotel.
Yeah, there's a
we
lot
know
of
the
information.
hotel where they're staying at. Yeah. We know that these three pieces of shit were in that area.
I mean, I thought we were gonna play it safe, but
and I kind of crack my neck. I don't know if I can do that as a
sure.
but I kind of crack my neck and I just say, we've been playing it safe, and now the Sabat are moving in. Grant Reynolds is a Templar now, and there's a lot of shit going on with the Sasha Vico side of things. I don't know what's going on with Hyde, because now it seems like he's playing the begging game. And if Jackson's involved, now that's the Prince of Chicago getting involved in shit here is another thing. It seems like the longer we wait, the more shit's showing up and coming. Not to mention the Lycans. Now they're gone.
We're fucked 6 ways from Sunday at this point, no matter what direction we go to. But my eyes started to open up a little more, like a smile is creeping up my face. It's just like, I walk up to Melvin and I give him a really like thoughtful, sentimental hug. Something that I don't normally do. I actually hug him. I go, I'm so glad you came around.
I check my wallet.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
No,
He's a Bruja, not a Ravnos.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'd be like, I'll be attacking you if that was the case.
Yeah, I'd hug you, but that shit might be contagious. We can just go.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we got to go in a different vehicle then. Like, I imagine, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, that there's no way that they don't know my vehicle. Or the fact that, that we associate ourselves with a motorcycle club. We have to go in there.
Well, I mean, what if we were to get the What if we were to get the disciples out of the motel for a little while?
You mean more like a distraction? You're saying?
I mean, like parading my boys past there at 90 miles an hour. They'll have to give chase. Kick over a couple bikes as we go. It becomes a pride thing, whether they're Canites or not.
We could lead them into a trap.
Oh, set them on fire?
Not
Well,
with my boys
if
there.
they're on fire, we can't.
Okay, look, while they're gone,
interview them.
we could set the motel on fire if we just if just to hold what is it? Everyone tonight is talking about stereotypes. I'm going to go with my stereotype, but we can do it to the building, not to the devil's disciples just yet.
We can
I like a
either
little
lead them.
psychological warfare first.
We can either lead them into an ambush, or when they get pulled away, we sneak into one of the rooms and wait till they come back.
I like the latter. The latter, I think what Andreas
That's
was
more
going.
what that's more what I was going with. Because they don't know that I'm not among the number up there, and if I have one of them riding my
Touche.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you guys are more of a you guys have more of a stealthiness to you, so I'm gonna have to figure out.
Oh no, the chaos that we're hoping the free souls will cause, you won't need to be sneaky. You can just walk right in.
Yeah, you should be able to fire a gun or two off in the air while the bikes are going by and no one would hear it.
Speaking of, can you call the truck over to arm ourselves up a little bit?
Oh yeah, of course.
Time to nut up or shut up, gentlemen.
Yeah, well, well, I'm hitting the nearest payphone again and just lighting it up again with a change of plans.
Right as you
card, bitches.
Right as you put in the quarter and start dialing the number, you hear a motorcycle coming up the road.
Oh, never mind.
All right.
I put my hand in the gun.
Yeah, I was like, hand in my pocket on the gun because a motorcycle doesn't necessarily mean friendly right now.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. But down the street, you do see the single spotlight, and as it pulls up, you see Shepard kind of come up and see you at the payphone, and then he just does a U-turn and comes around.
Mm-hmm. I practically leap up onto the footboards by the driver's side. Shepard, my man, let's get into some trouble tonight.
All right. Didn't know that's what we were doing. Otherwise, I would have brought the command vehicle.
We can go get the command vehicle. I don't care. What do we have in the weapons-wise in here?
Small arms right now. Haven't put in any requisitions for anything bigger yet.
Okay. Let me get on. All right, let me get on the phone with the rest of the souls anyway, because they can bring whatever they have. They can bring whatever they have. Tonight's operation is going to be a major distraction.
All right, sounds easy.
Mm-hmm. Well, absolutely. We're going to be not really raiding a motel, but we need the Devil's Disciples to be given chase to the souls tonight.
Okay.
And get on the so roll over, get on the phone immediately. Just start having everybody get ready, gather up. But of course, a safe distance so we can at least get this started before they notice us.
Yeah. And you find a place down the 5 to kind of everybody meet up.
Mm-hmm. Let anybody know that has small arms. Pop a couple shots off at some of the parked bikes, couple into the windows. We don't need any real bloodshed, but we need you getting chased.
Okay. But yeah, all of you meet up. There's the mobile haven. Shepard brings it. So anything smaller than a shotgun, you can arm yourselves with.
Well, I still have my M1911, so I got that. I'm doing the old school detective and putting a secondary piece of a revolver in my ankle.
Nice.
Yeah. And also, since you said, like you mentioned, that there might be lupines in that territory, let me also make sure I have the revolver with the 4 magic bullets left,
just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
If I run into Yavol werewolf, we got to.
Yavol.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yavol.
I've got old problems.
I grab a stake, and I kind of put it somewhere, even if I put it in my belt, whatever, I don't care, or my pocket, and I think.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a shotgun.
There are no shotguns.
Oh, smaller than a
Smaller
shotgun.
than a shotgun.
shotgun.
Yeah. All the big weapons were taken for something else already.
Yeah, well, I'm an arms dealer. It's like I can't just sit on my wares the whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine. The 2 revolvers I still have.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and I'll take a Springfield. I just need something that has more than 6 bullets, 8 bullets in it. So
Sure.
yeah. Other than that, trying to think. No, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, pistols, combat knife, my usual array.
Yeah. And all of you take off. There's just the metallic dragon of this row of bikes just going down the highway.
Mhm.
You all get off on Sunnyview. You see exactly where the kind of like Days Inn equivalent of a hotel motel is.
Holiday.
And you see just the row of bikes that are just in the front of one of the sides. And there's a couple of shots, couple hoots and hollers, and you see some of the windows shatter. And immediately you see like an ant colony, just black jackets, and everybody coming out. Excuse me, you can hear the motorcycle start revving up and people fucking start chase.
All right.
Do we have
I watched Shepard riding off of my bike. Good job, old man.
Oh, sorry. I was asking if we
So
see
we're
any
in the
stragglers.
command vehicle, right?
Yeah.
No, we're about to be on foot to try and make it over to the motel.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying, we were in the command vehicle.
Yeah,
Is
if
that
you want to
what
be.
we were brought over here,
Yeah.
or we were in the car?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, remember we assembled everybody, so whatever
Yeah.
parking lot or wherever we're set, like all the vehicles are probably fucking there, at least for the moment.
Yeah.
Mm.
I without any hesitation, I like kick the door open and jump out,
Okay.
and I just land with both feet on there.
Okay. Yeah. All of the Devil's Disciples have left the hotels.
So there's no indication of any
There are no bikes left over. All the rooms have been closed. Some have broken windows. Some have holes in the actual doors to the room.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nobody took any lethal shots. Just like they were told. Everything was just kind of high and distractory.
Through glass, get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
About how many people did we see
From this
Is that
group?
an idea?
2
Yeah.
dozen or so. More than
Okay.
2 dozen, less than 3.
I start walking towards the hotel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, let's.
Fuck it. At this
I'm
point,
not turning on Silence of Death, but I am turning on the visual.
Okay.
no, I'm turning
Or
on
lack
Silent Death anyway.
lack
'cause-
thereof.
Well, Will knows if I'm not talking, I'm on silence of this on.
Okay.
Well, I also want to hear shit in case I accidentally am like next to somebody when noise starts getting made, because that unfortunately shuts it all off.
It does. Okay.
So go ahead and make
that's the problem. If 2 people are talking and you sneak up on them with Silence of Death, at some point they're gonna notice because suddenly they can't hear each other, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's a short proximity thing.
Yeah. But yeah, give me rouse checks then for your unseen passage. Let's see if any of you get hungrier.
I got a 10.
8.
Okay. What did Melvin get? What was Melvin's number?
10.
10. Okay, yeah. The hunger does not increase. And the second that nobody's looking at each other, shadows are pulled, and Erickson is left alone on the street.
And I close my eyes. I open my eyes.
To help him as we're starting to move towards the place, I'm actually going to keep a hand on the back of his jacket.
Okay.
No,
Melvin's taken off.
Yeah.
Like Melvin's with a purpose. Like Melvin doesn't give a fuck.
I would stop you, but I can't even fucking see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, at this point, I've already taken. Like, I appreciate that somebody, which I don't know who it is, has their hand on my back, but that doesn't. I'm already too accustomed to the point that once these guys have vanished, I'm just gonna go straight forward. Anything that I happen to see that moves, like a door creak or some glass falling out of a window, I'm gonna assume these guys have gone into that area. That's my first. I wanted to know, as far as the front gate office, is the office open? Anybody there?
It looks like there might have been somebody there, but the second the shots started firing, they disappeared as well.
Okay.
Looks like self-preservation was more important than calling the police.
Yeah. While we're at that office, what rooms are the keys missing for? This is the 80s, man. They got that whole the fucking wall of the keys for each room. Which rooms are missing keys?
Rooms 49 through 69 are missing.
Giggity.
You know it.
All right.
I don't even know what the word means yet, but I like it.
I'm gonna grab the room 48 just in case we need to go in somewhere.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what's it called? Maintenance cart. Anything for like housekeeping shit like that? Is there anything around that by the front office?
It looks like past a little half door, like a little Wild West, the push doors.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a cleaning area where a cart. It looks like it was in the middle of being set up, or stuff was being put away. One or the other.
Just happen to look. Do they have the ring and keys that the housekeeping would use?
No.
Damn. I knew that would be too easy.
What about the office?
No. Whoever was here fucked off when the gunshot started.
Yeah, they probably took the keys with them. All right, it was worth asking. Now at least we have now we have a ranger room. So it just seems to be those rooms that are taken up right now, or is there? Okay. So whispering over to Erickson, it's like, all right, so we got 49 to 69, about 20 rooms or so. That would account for most of those people.
Are there cameras? Is there a camera? Is there like a monitor that has that shows camera setup or no?
Not at all.
Even better.
The motel, so we should be good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Time to start looking.
Yeah. Let's go find the Nazi.
I go to the farthest room number.
Okay.
69.
Yeah, out of the side of the hotel where everybody took off from, it would be 68 actually.
So I'll go into 68.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start just looking around.
Both beds are unmade. You can see a couple duffel bags on either side of each of the beds. Couple of boots here and there. It looks like one of them is a size 11, the other one's a size 10. Because one pair of boots is smaller than the other.
Fucking polio.
Couple of shirts hung up that don't look like they deserve to be hung up. Like they're t-shirts for like different kind of businesses. None of them are here in Salem. Like the ones that are hanging are all for businesses that have Portland addresses and information.
I make a note of them, and then I rip the shirts.
Petty motherfucker, bro.
Is this? I'm assuming the biker gang's just dudes. There was no women that were.
You did not see any women come out.
We've only hit one room so far. So.
Well, I know, but the thing is, I'm trying to find something to write "get fucked" on the mirror.
Bite your finger. Get fucked.
Don't leave blood behind.
No, I don't want to leave blood behind.
This guy's a pro.
Yeah. It's not even about that. I mean, I'd be more worried about someone who got some sort of blood sorcery getting a hold of a taste.
Yeah, that's
so. All right, check the duffel bags. Anything of interest?
If Melvin checks the duffel bags, he won't find anything interesting, no.
I was gonna say sex, drugs, and money, man.
I grab one of each of the boots and I go to the door and I throw them with potence as far as I can.
Oh, I'd be like, just be an asshole. Take out a knife and cut the laces.
I'll do that with the other ones. I was gonna leave just so they had one shoe each, and they were both different size.
So as Erickson and Andreas are coming out of the office, they'll see just a boot fly out of one of the rooms, and then another boot fly out of the same room.
I think we found Melvin.
Yep, told you.
And then I'll go to the next room, and I'm gonna systematically go room by room. And
If he does that,
I'm gonna stay out in the hallway so I can actually, or not in the hallway, outside in the courtyard so I can actually listen to see what the sound of the bikes in the area are and if any circling back.
I'm assuming that Melvin is just forcing his way into the rooms.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I'm gonna go ahead and use the other. I'm gonna go to the opposite end of those rooms that have been occupied.
Okay.
I would even say I'm not an obfuscate. Like I don't even know if I would have obfuscated getting off of the van because I'm fucking pissed and I'm just fed up with shit. Melvin's just so tired.
Melvin's not hidden. So.
You've been hanging out with the Bruja too long, bro.
Rubbing off.
I've been dealing with the shit in this city too long.
Yeah, but you guys can go through all the rooms. You're not gonna find anything out of the ordinary.
But if there's shirts, I rip them up and I fuck with every room little by little.
There's no information, no notebooks, no phone numbers, nothing.
Nothing like that.
Okay, I go to the front and check and see if there's anybody else that's checked into the hotel aside from them.
No. It looks like whoever was staying here, the day after they came in, they cut their visit short.
Okay.
There's a lot of sign outs the day after they signed in.
Okay. I check and see if there's anybody in the office, anything like that.
No, they ditched, dude.
No. I know. Just in case. I'm just.
No, they're gone.
Well, if you're off obfuscate, then we would let you know. Hey, by the way, we checked the office. Shits.
Yeah. There's nobody else staying at this hotel, so we can either wait and surprise them, or we can light this fucking thing on fire.
I like the latter.
But then again,
I don't want to perpetuate stereotypes, but you guys are.
I don't know if this. At the same time, I don't know if this business is really to blame for this.
Yeah, well, also, I don't. This would be the first time one of our fires is directly connected to my gang. So,
this is true.
I don't. Yeah, I may never say this again as long as we unlive.
It's a first.
But let's not set the fire tonight.
It's a day of first, guys.
You know,
I've checked a few of the rooms, and there's been nothing of interest in the rooms.
And they'll know you were here. It's okay.
Yeah.
They're
not going to have shirts and boots.
I'm curious. As I step out, what is around the motel?
It is on the border of Kaiser and Hayesville. So it's the expansion of the city as far as it's concerned. Like these are the newest kind of areas that the city has expanded into. It's been kind of stretching out as far as north is concerned and south is concerned. South has become the new kind of push. So everything's here is kind of settled in. As far as this area is concerned exactly, I believe where is Sunnyvale? Let me see if I can find the street.
Just thought of something to do.
Yeah, right.
I'm just wondering if there just happens to be a liquor store, corner store anywhere around this hotel.
If that's what you're looking for, not really, not within like eyesight. If you kind of go down to the main street and look down away from the 5, because the 5 does block a bit of the view down the street, you'll see that there's a liquor store a couple blocks down. You can see the big neon bottle that's kind of tilted down, and then you'll see a neon shot glass that kind of fills up, and then it disappears, and then starts all over again.
Since you brought up the neon, in that picture, would I know this is crazy to ask, would I have been able to decipher in that picture hues of color coming from a neon sign?
It would have been a rough roll. So if you want to try that,
I like it rough. Let's go.
okay, all right. Safe words are a thing. Let's have you do a wits and investigation roll.
Okay, so 4.
Yeah. So 3 regular, 1 hunger.
Yeah. Okay. The hunger die is a 3, 2 8s, and a 3.
Okay.
2 successes.
Yeah. Hues you wouldn't have seen through the television. The colors are really muted. It looks like crappy. What's it called? Oh my god, I'm blanking on the word. But it looked like not grainy, but not amazing as far as the resolution is concerned.
Okay.
But they were definitely, it wasn't gray, black and white kind of thing, but it also, the colors weren't strong enough to get that kind of hue.
Hold up. The picture, the liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
Did it look like a corner store?
It did not. It looked like it was part of a strip mall.
Yes. Oh, okay. It was part. It looked like it was part of a strip mall.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the fucking closest strip mall from here?
I mean, they're all over the place.
Yeah, I know. I'm grasping at straws here at this point.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm always down for Pier 6 brawl if you guys want to just sit and wait for these guys to come back. But
Well,
I have a feeling that's going to cause a lot more ruckus.
I have an idea of how wide's the street, Will?
Talking about Sunnyview?
The street in front where they had their bikes parked before.
Oh, the little courtyard of a parking lot?
Yeah. Is that where they parked him, in the courtyard?
Yeah, just a small, typical
Cool.
parking lot.
Any of those buildings that were around us, is any of them like a hardware store or somewhere somebody could get like high tensile wire or fishing line?
Not at this time, no.
Oh, I don't need it to be open. I can open it myself.
Oh.
I'm just
Right.
what I'm thinking of doing, guys, is the guillotine.
I already know.
Yeah.
I already know.
Yeah,
In the parking
I
lot.
understand.
The moment you said high tensile wire, I'm like, I know where this is going.
I understand. It's time to, cut them at the knee, so to speak, literally speaking. I mean, I'm happy with that. That sounds like never thought of that, and I kind of like it.
Melvin's mind has been deteriorated quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I'm also gonna have to keep an eye out. I mean, when the bikes are approaching, and make sure they're not my boys.
Oh, that's true.
We'll have a signal.
You guys are making me the voice of reason. This is not a good look for me.
So
Look,
so instead of
I've
that,
already said
instead of that,
Mhm.
what I'm thinking is if we can isolate one of them when they come back. It seems like it looked like there was at least 2 of them per room, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get through all the rooms, so we could get one room that has a still functioning door, wait in there, kill one of them, silence the other one.
They're also going to. Well, they're already going to be alerted to our presence due to your previous work. So the moment anyone goes in a room that's been fucked with,
yeah,
you're putting the rest of them on high alert. Yeah.
I mean, what? Okay, hear me out. We could set the place on fire, but we wait till they get in. Wait, hear me out. We wait till they get in.
I'm hearing you out.
And then any of them that actually escape, 1 or 2 of them, we tail those people. We take them down. And then we interrogate that one. No takers. Okay.
I'm trying to counter with a better idea, but this no. We've even if we already haven't chased away any of their canine connections, like pissing them off enough for one night. We'll see how they react tomorrow.
That's fair enough. And you keep somebody undercover, so to speak.
Yeah, no, we can keep the place getting watched. That's no problem. I got daytime.
But yeah, to see if they move somewhere else. I just wanted to send a message. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Because they messed with you, and now they're in the way of me finding those 3 motherfuckers.
They're in our way, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, our way. Sorry, you guys want to kill people too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, welcome to the party, pal. You just joined this group wanting to kill people.
It's at this point that you hear sirens in the distance.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Time to go.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Armageddon's finally here. Armageddon out of here. Let's go.
Right, so where you headed?
That was so cool. I mean,
You know what? I take one of their duffel bags.
Yep.
Because if we decide to send them a message, we send it in their own duffel bag, and that adds to the.
There you go. Steal one boot from each room.
Oh, that's what I did. I took one boot. It's like all these motherfuckers gonna be barefoot unless they go to a Payless.
it's all the left one.
Yeah, man. All flip, no flop.
That's right.
Into a Woolworth.
I might even wait and obfuscate across the street and beam one of the boots at their heads. Just guerrilla warfare. It's fucking Mel Gibson, the Patriot, this shit.
Oh man.
Up to you for whatever you want to do. But you
He's like,
No, I like Eric. I like Andreas's idea of see how they react to this.
Yeah. Well, here's some more fun we can have. If you guys want to take off, I'll keep an eye on them the rest of the night. I sleep wherever now.
Oh, that's true.
okay. I mean,
That's on you. If you feel comfortable with that.
Absolutely. Will, I'm going to look for a place with a nice high vantage point.
Okay.
Elevated like the old days. Imagining like I have a sniper, but obviously no scope. So I'm just going to keep an eye on things.
Sure.
I will say this before he does that. If anything goes to shit and you're able to get to a phone, call the room we're in twice and let it ring twice and then hang up. That way we know something's up for you. So you don't
If
have
shit's going bad, I will call you and leave my phone off the hook ringing.
If our phone rings, I'm not expecting a lot of phone calls.
Yeah,
I will answer.
There's like 2 motherfuckers that know the number that aren't in the room at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Arc twice towards the western sun.
Yeah, right.
Look for me by the dawn of the 5th day.
Hey, look, I'm not Columbo, guys. I'm trying.
Okay,
all right? I'm trying. I'm not Columbo.
All right, bro. Everybody has their strengths in the group.
I'm Columbo. No.
Yeah. But yeah, so Andreas is gonna stick around to see what happens, and so Melvin and Erickson are going where exactly?
We're gonna go back to the hotel then. I mean, to the apartment complex, wouldn't we?
Okay.
I'll hang out with him for a little bit just to make sure, because if it's still early enough, unless he wants to do this by himself.
I could care less either way. This is just me to keep an eye on things.
Because I don't want to abandon him completely if there's still time in the night.
I know. I'm also not really emotionally charged about the whole situation. As angry as I am about the Devil's Disciples, I know I'm going to get mine out of them soon.
Yeah, because if we all 3 stay and they come back, there's a high chance that we're just gonna get in the middle of something.
Yeah.
I mean, but what else are you gonna do throughout the night?
Whittle. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right.
Well,
Fuck
I mean,
it.
I'll find
Let's
my way back. I'll find my way back to the apartment complex, and I don't need to necessarily stay here all night. But if anything's interesting, I can literally stay right up until the sun's about to come up, and then just find myself a patch of dirt.
True. Okay.
Wait, hold a sec.
enough.
Wait, Werner. Just so just so I can remember correctly, Werner Herzfeld was with these guys.
He
Correct?
was. We were told that we figured it out.
Yeah, he's in
that
regular contact with them at least.
He's having them work for him because he was the invisible creature thing that was Eric was dealing with, or Andreas. Sorry,
So, what if
I remember that.
what if they come back, they see the shit that we did, that you did, you pretty much fucking Rocket Raccoon the whole entire
I like
time.
how in the beginning, it's for certain things, it's like, hey, we as a group are gonna do this thing, but now it's you did this.
I mean, there was like 20 rooms, and I didn't hear this motherfucker say, "No, stop, don't do that."
Oh no,
Once.
I will never say that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to compliment you by saying, look what you did to the place. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's really what I'm doing.
By yourself.
I'm an anarch witnessing anarchy. I'm like, the world is as it should be.
Look, I'm already come to terms with the fact that no matter what I do or how big it is, I never get credit for it. So fuck it. That's exactly
Also, no matter what we do, we're going to be in deep shit with at least two factions.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, look, we forget we have a fucking German lupine Nazi that's out there somewhere that we still haven't addressed yet. It's out there.
And the voice of reason in your group has a death wish. I mean,
Yeah.
These are true facts.
Yeah.
So, but the reason why I bring it up, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I know what I would do, but go ahead.
Because the reason why I say that is because if they're in regular contact, given what happens here, I would want to know if they contact them and who they contact and how, if we're able to hear or get in any information from who they reach out to. Because odds are, if you're saying they're regularly talking to Werner Herzfeld or he brought them there, they could probably lead us to him.
Yeah, that's part of the reason for riling up the hornet's nest.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just?
Yeah, you know what, Will? I'm gonna change my position. I'm actually gonna stay on the roof of the stay around on the roof of the motels. But now this time the obfuscate will be full on with silence. Oh, no, shit! I can't use silence to death. Never mind. Just visual. I want to be able to listen above doors and that kind of shit.
Yep.
Will, is there anything recollection wise that I would have known from my time with Lydia of something that would have piqued her interest enough that her doing her own thing would be maybe going like a library or some kind of thing that was constantly pulling on her, like what was happening with Albert about Atlantis.
The last thing that you gave her to do was to translate the journal. So she'd probably still be doing that.
How many libraries are in Salem?
A few. If you're talking about like the size of a municipal library, like the one that Grigori has in Portland, you're looking at 3 main. But otherwise, there's smaller branches here and there.
I don't think a small branch would have the books that she would need. So I'm gonna tell you guys, since we've got some time, Erickson, if you want to come, I'm thinking I think I might potentially have a lead on how to find Lydia. If she's as big of a book nerd as her dad was. I did ask her to translate a journal that Albert had left, so her leaving and doing her own thing, she probably would have been obsessed until she finished it if she's anything like her dad. There I can think of 3 libraries in Salem that might have the materials she would need, so maybe we can check them out, maybe at least check out 1 or 2 of them before we have to head back.
The largest one would be Willamette University.
How far is that?
It's downtown, so 25, 30 minutes.
What
20
time
minutes.
is it now?
20 minutes really now if you take the 5.
So we have time. We still have enough time for me to at least go and maybe explore there.
Yeah. It's only like 2 o'clock at this point.
Okay. So I'm going to suggest that. I'm gonna let you know, Andreas, and I'm gonna say Erickson. That's where I'm thinking I'm gonna head, is the university.
All right.
I look at Andreas. I go, look, I can't be stealthy for the life of me, and I think that if we're gonna do
I enjoy the me time, and yeah, you're right. You can't be quiet for shit.
yeah. So we already know that. So
Yeah.
On so many levels.
I look at Melvin. I go, oh, Melvin, you got your bull. Let's find this China shop.
And I guess we'll start heading over that way to the
Okay.
university.
Yeah.
So the two of you are popping in the car and down to Willamette University. From the second story roof of the motel, in the distance you can see some of the buildings washed in the blue reds of the police as they're chasing these two metallic roaring dragons that are just kind of dueling with each other down the streets of northern Salem.
So proud of my boys in this moment.
And as the two groups kind of separate for the moment, I think this is a good spot to call it for tonight. So I'd like to thank you guys for allowing me to tell this story and for being a part of it. I'd like to thank the audience for joining us as well. As always, I want to give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're up to. So let's start with Kenny. What are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Well, you can find me. I've actually been a little more active on Crit or Die on TikTok and Instagram. Funny enough, the last thing I posted actually kind of blew up a little bit. So, it's got already 25,000 views as of yesterday.
Nice.
And
Wow.
I know. So
Is that
I
the
was
magic
like,
one?
yeah, it's the magic one. It's honestly because of the material in it. Pretty much, calling out homophobes and gatekeepers from, local gaming shops, things
Fuck
like
those
that.
guys.
Fuck those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you can find me Crit or Die Instagram or TikTok. My personal, you can find me Mr. Underscore with the underscore in between each word. Through all social media. Picking up on music. Getting ready for my wedding with my fiance Tiff come November.
Yeah.
And shout out to my pops and my mom that apparently watched the show. So
Nice.
So
Okay.
yeah. So everybody
Thanks.
wait for parents.
Thanks for watching,
There you go.
Mom and Dad Kenny. All right, Eric. What are you up to, and where can you be found if you want to be found on the internet?
Don't really want to be found right now. I'm just working on some of my VO equipment. So
Okay, cool shit.
yeah.
Jeff, what are you doing, and where can you be found if you want to be found?
I'm not doing much right now. I'm waiting on my wonderful co-host Q to for us to do our next episode of Crimacopia. But we do have other episodes you can check out and listen to. Aside from that, not really doing much because Baldur's Gate and Diablo 4 are taking up a lot of my time.
And doesn't your kid go back to school and shit? So
Next week.
oh yeah.
Yeah, man. So more
Peace is
Baldur's
coming.
Gate time.
Yeah, peace is coming.
More-
But yeah, thank you guys for being a part of this and for letting me tell this vampire story that you've decided to be a part of. I don't know where we would have been without the three of you, so thank you for that. As always, we take mental health on the channel very seriously. Please take care of yourselves. If you feel like you need help, reach out. There are phone numbers going up if you're watching live on Twitch. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. But just know that there are resources out there for you to use if you feel like you need them. If you're a friend or family member of somebody that's happy-go-lucky or normally a strong personality, check in on them. Check in on your friends and family members. You don't know how a simple hello or how are you can change the trajectory of somebody's life. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Mental health is part of our general health, and if you lose one, you lose the other, and vice versa. So, just take care of yourself. If you're not in the United States, or if you can't find you can't reach out with the phone numbers, there is a link going up as well. That'll be in the description box for you on YouTube as well to help you find the resources you need inside and outside the United States. So just know that there are resources out there for you. There are people that want to help you, and all you got to do is take that first step. So as far as the schedule is concerned, we're still on break for Tuesdays, but normally you can find Werewolf the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings. We have one more episode of our Dark Ages game over at McStabber Studios. Check them out. They are doing some fantastic work over there. And then we'll have a Q&A, and we're off for a month. And every other Thursday, not this Thursday, but next Thursday for sure, we have a 7th Sea campaign. And then Mondays, as always, are for Vampire the Masquerade, where we tell a 2-part story following a Camarilla coterie and this Anarch coterie, as a Praxis War is going into full swing, and 2 Ventrus are duking it out for control of Salem in 1984. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for letting me do this. I am excited to talk some more about Old Gods of Appalachia, and not about Werewolf 5th edition, because that shit blows. But as always, thank you for being here. Take care of yourselves. Be safe, and we will see you when we see you. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.